folks, welcome back to Sideshow New York Con Live. We may be social distancing, but the con is still on. I'm your host, Brad Gage, here, and we're going to be looking at the booth in a little bit, but we just wanted to get things kicked off with a little bit of the Mando, the Mandalorian and the Child. These are two Sideshow pieces right here. This is the premium format Mandalorian piece with the Child floating beside him. And then, of course, we have our beloved life-size The Child figure with eyes that you could get lost in forever. I am currently transfixed by this Child right here. But that's right, we're bringing you the con. If we can't do it in person, we're going to bring it to you on video. We have live stuff going on. We have exclusive looks, new reveals, and then, of course, some playlists where we're showing some old episodes of shows, some new episodes of shows, interviews, skits, and more. And don't forget, we're running giveaways on YouTube every day of the con. That's today through Sunday. And today's giveaway, you're going to want to peek at that because that is for all you Batman fans out there. Okay? So we're running this on YouTube, Facebook Live, and on Periscope on Twitter. So we're giving you all we got here. And be sure throughout the show to hit us up in the comment section, in the chat. Let us know if you have questions, anything you want us to take a look at. We want to give you the full con experience. Now, coming up, we are, of course, going to be in the booth, me and my friend, Andrew Seco. We're going to be kind of gushing about all of our famous and favorite pieces. But before that, I'm going to toss it to a great interview with our artist, Levi Pruitt, who actually, we checked out his kind of exclusive new piece for Unruly Industries earlier, and we're going to see it again after this. The Ramen Demon, we're going to check that out. But we'll talk to Levi, and then I'll be back in the booth in a little bit. Here we go.
Wow! Would you look at that? The Big Apple!
Hi everyone, I'm Wendy Lee and welcome to another exclusive artist interview for Sideshow New York Con. Today I have the pleasure of chatting with illustrator Levi Pruitt. Hello Levi, how are you?
Hello Wendy, I'm good.
So I have been doing a little Instagram stalking on your Instagram, which is Livid. And I've just been enjoying looking at all of your sketch cards. Can we talk a little bit about what inspires you when it comes to these sketch cards?
Yeah, the sketch cards began as kind of a casual thing that I would sell at conventions. I would just sell them for a couple bucks, and whoever wanted to come up and get a quick sketch. And eventually I began to auction them off on my Instagram, and people really liked them. And now there's this whole, I don't know, people are excited to see what I'm going to draw for the next sketch card day. So I use it as an opportunity to kind of clear out those fan art passageways, you know what I mean? I just shotgun all my fan art out in one burst at the end of a month. And I don't know, it's just a fun way to do that.
I love that. And I love that you talked about at conventions, you would, be at the Artist Alley and you would do the sketches. So when did you realize that as you were doing this, you could professionally do this for a living?
Well, when I first began making money doing what I do, I was working at a coffee shop. I was going to community college. I didn't have that ambition, I was just doing it because I loved it and as kind of an escape from the monotony of community college, you know what I mean? And I began posting on Instagram more and more and getting a response. And a couple years into posting my drawings, I think I was doing the Inktober drawing prompt, and I got really into inking, and that's when people started responding in a much bigger way. I actually had a professor tell me in one of my art classes, you should probably drop out, man. You should probably just focus on just focus on the work you're doing. It's good. And that was my definitive moment where someone in this position of power told me, hey, you could probably be doing this. And that's when I quit, and I just focused on Instagram, and eventually I got to quit that coffee job. Yeah.
Good for you. That's some advice, huh? Because if you maybe have not gotten that advice, do you think you would have stayed on that course?
I was specifically going to school for animation, honestly, if money and time were no object, I probably would have finished the course because I learned a great deal going to school. But it is right. Like it also comes with a lot of debt sometimes. So that it felt good to be able to just kind of start doing what I wanted to do.
Awesome. And you just talked about inking. What other mediums have you worked in? And there's something potentially that you would be interested in kind of exploring in the future?
I really enjoy inking. I work digitally often when it comes to client projects, or if I'm, working on a comic cover or something, I work digitally. I don't paint. That's something that I do wish I could get more into, is acrylic paints. So maybe someday in the future. Sculpting's fun in a very hobby sort of way, Yeah.
That's really awesome. And I love to see just more of that from you. And speaking of which, we are here for Sideshow New York Con, and you do have a piece debuting. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's been in the works for a while and I've had to keep my mouth shut, but it's this big, beautiful figure that they've sculpted of one of these drawings I did of Ramen Demon, who's kind of my Mickey Mouse. He's a character I post a lot. And Tonkatsu, this like Asian dragon bursting out of a bowl of ramen. And we made a print of it like a year ago. And I don't know, Ramen Demon is just one of my favorite characters to draw. So when presented with the opportunity, I was, blown away and so stoked. And I don't have one yet. I can't wait to actually see it in person.
Oh, that's amazing. I want to see like your reaction when it's finally first unveiled to you, like the physical thing.
I can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. The 3D sculpts that they've sent me have just been, it's been incredible.
So we're talking about Ramen Demon, and I noticed this with your Instagram sketch cards as well. There's a lot of inspiration that you pull from. What are some of the favorites that you have pulled from as far as your sketch card goes?
I watch a lot of monster movies, anything with, teeth and aliens and ooze and blood. We just watched the American remake of The Ring last night. So that kind of pulpy B movie, that stuff really inspires me. I grew up on a healthy dose of comic books. So, superhero comics, newspaper comics, that stuff really, when I read a comic, I feel like I often have to fight the urge to put down the comic and go draw. I always make it about me, like I'm reading a comic, like, oh, that would be good for this thing I'm working on. But yeah, comic books inspire me a great deal too.
And speaking of comic books, you've worked on a graphic novel of your own.
So it's my first ever graphic novel. It's called Opening Band, and it's an autobiographical story about the point in my life before I had started doing art as my main focus. And I was going to community college and I was in a band and we went on this disastrous tour. And I don't know, I'm really proud of it. I'm excited to release it. Hopefully it'll be released as a webcomic too. So we'll see, but it's going to be a graphic novel sooner or later.
That sounds amazing, and congratulations in advance. Levi, you've worked on so many various different projects. Can you talk about, have you ever worked on a project that you've really struggled with, and then maybe something you did to kind of help overcome the difficulty of it?
The project that comes to mind isn't a project for a client. I remember I got very into printmaking when I was still living with my folks. You have that privilege and it's like, hey, I've got a few thousands in savings. I might as well buy a risograph printer. And if you don't know what a risograph printer is, like an old duplicator, like a Japanese machine, and it's like screen printing. They print layers and overlap them over each other. And I got really into it and started printing comics and prints. But of course, this archaic like technology from the 90s, also from Japan, and I can't understand any of the guidebooks. It was a long, slow, painful death with the risograph printer before it finally pooped down on me. But that was the project that probably for 6 months I was working on comics and prints with that printer, and got a few good things out before I had to had to abandon that.
Wow, that sounds huge. I can just see myself having to take on something like that, just completely struggle, and maybe trying to whip out that Google Translate and trying to figure out the instructions.
Oh my gosh, if it was in English, I wouldn't have been able to understand it. I'm not a techie guy, but I got too ambitious with that one.
Oh, me neither. So you're obviously always very busy with art. You're working on art, but what do you do when you're not working on your art? What are some of your hobbies?
I play a lot of video games. I read a lot of comics. Lately, I've been reading a lot of Chris Ware comics and Daniel Klaus. Just been marathoning through a bunch of Daniel Klaus books. For the most part, it's whatever I can do from home. Currently, we're in quarantine anyway, so it kind of fits the lifestyle. I also collect fountain pens. That's a random little hobby I have.
I love that. Do you have any, let's talk about like recommendations, because there's a lot of people who also inspire to be artists. So when someone is first starting out in inking, what would you suggest as like a basic kit?
A basic kit. A lot of people like microns because you don't get any line variation out of it, which sounds bad, but it's a lot easier to work with. So microns, I think, actually I've got some pens here. I don't know if This is a micron, if you don't know what a micron is. Oh, there it is. Microns are fine liners, so those are great. I use a Pentel pocket brush as a brush pen, and cheaper than a lot of sable hair brushes, and you can take it with you. That's what I use for a lot of my pieces, and any various assortment of like signature pens, like Tombow feud pens, I also use.
It's amazing. I've recognized some of the names in there because I use them for not inking, because I am not an expert, but for my little journaling and my little doodles. I do enjoy doing that as a side hobby as well. So Levi, it's been so much fun chatting with you about your inspirations, about your hobbies, about your work. To wrap up our conversation, what is the best advice you've ever been given?
I got to be honest with you. I used that for my previous question about the teacher. I was going to say that.
So then how about what is the best advice you can give to aspiring artists out there watching this interview?
My best advice to give to aspiring artists, off the top of my head, everyone tells you to draw every day, keep a sketchbook. I think it's very important to seek out inspiration too, though, and not to just be focused on producing, because I don't know there's some people that seem to be able to do that, but if I'm not consuming things that inspire me, I get real stuck, man. So I think finding artists you admire, finding a mentor or some figure that can maybe, like if you're on Instagram, for example, someone else that you connect with that can pour some advice your way. That would be my advice for sure.
What a great way to wrap up this conversation. Levi, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Absolutely. It was so fun. I'm honored.
And where can everybody find your art and you on Instagram?
Levitzo is where I post my artwork on Instagram. I've also got a second account called Club Levitzo if you want to see all of my work in progress stuff and little doodles and things.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. And of course, to those of you watching at home, thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for more from Sideshow New York Con. And of course, don't forget to let your geek side show.
My artwork is reflective of my own heritage, the indigenous cultures. You know, like you're trying to reflect your own identity. Just something about that always wants to come out. The name Urban Aztec kind of came from describing my style. It's graffiti and Aztec culture is like Urban Aztec. There was no Aztec anything, you know, back in the day. So trying to make something that anyone that's like me would have something to feel proud about also. You know, like, man, that's me right there. I reflect on kind of the duality of life and death, the Day of the Dead. That's the ancient Aztec culture. You know, you're trying to do something super creative that makes you hyped about making it. For me, art's the most important thing. It changes everything.
The following is a Sideshow Originals production.
Dragon Slayer. In a time of ancient heroes, a warrior forged in flame, an impossible journey, and a fight to the death. All in a day's work for the Dragon Slayer.
In a dangerous galaxy, unlike our own, outlaws rule the stars. But there's one galactic gun for hire who never misses her chance to get paid. As night falls, the hunt begins.
Beyond life, beyond death, stands the guardian of the void. Unknown, irresistible, bending darkness to your will. Dark soul.
Add them to your collection today, exclusively from Sideshow Originals.
Welcome back to more Sideshow New York Con Live. I'm Brad Gage here in the booth with my friend.
I'm Andrew Seco. Hey.
Andrew's here, and you guys probably recognize him. He's going to be talking about some of his favorite pieces, but let's start off with what you just maybe were hearing about, Levi Pruitt, his ramen demon, right?
I'm so happy that we have this and that we're working with him because I have loved his art for such a long time. And it brings the same charm in 2D into 3D. And it adds so much to it. I can't express how much I love the little baby demon also. And
the cutest demon I've seen.
It's the cutest little demon I've ever seen. And the same way that Levi adds these highlights to it, he adds in, it's in the sculpt, you know, it's in the paint for it. And so you get these highlights everywhere, you know, these little details that are super wonderful to look at. I mean, it also shows that he knows how to make good ramen because the egg's in there. He's got it right. Like, he's got it right for sure.
I was wondering this before. Is it eggs and tofu? What's all in this ramen?
I'm thinking it's eggs and tofu.
Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah.
Because again, he knows how to do it right. And you've got the demon with the little pepper and the dragon, making sure that it's all set up just right, just hot enough. You can see the heat bursting out of his nose.
That's what that is. Okay, that's heat.
Oh yeah, that looks like a little fire explosion.
I don't know if that
there
was a mustache or not, but
well, so yeah, that might be mustache, that might be heat, but going out of his nose for sure is a little a flavor burst. And just holding those chopsticks wonderfully and you can even see the excitement that the dragon has. I love every single detail of it, and the bright colors make it so much better. Every single part of it, I love.
And okay, well, let's continue with the unruly pieces here. We saw them a little bit earlier, but let's talk about these pieces by Free and Profit. I interviewed him. I don't know if we've gotten to that interview yet, but he was talking about the types of masks he makes and could not tell me how he was working with Sideshow, but now I see what he's been up to.
I mean, do you want to share some of the details from the interview? Because
well, I mean, I again don't know when that's or if it's already screened, but he works with a lot of shoes and creates these masks, these one-of-a-kind masks that the likes I've never really seen before. A lot of them are gas masks, which he did not know would be so relevant.
Yeah, relevant and poignant in design right now. It's really cool. And I'm really impressed with how he incorporated the elements of shoe design into it. And I have this interest in the crossover between, I suppose, there's a whole shoe collectible scene.
Oh yeah, he's big in that. When we talked about it, it aired yesterday actually, my interview.
Okay.
And there was a bunch of shoes behind him.
Yeah, so
a wall of shoes.
Going from that shoe collectible scene to, this sort of wonderful Unruly Industries collectible scene, it's a big shift, but he brings that over and he brings the excitement from it into these designs. I absolutely love the stitching that the painting lines up with. I love the almost steampunk designs of the masks and the eyes. I love every single part of it. And I was amazed this morning when you guys showed off how they can be mounted on the wall. That was the coolest thing. I absolutely did not expect that.
Should we do that? Should we show that off? Sure, I think I could. We saw it this morning. So basically, yeah, it can be mounted this way, and then you can mount it this way if it is on a wall. As you can see back there, you can mount it. And this is like you would mount a taxidermy kind of thing.
It's so fascinating to me that the design was incorporated in that way. I'm still amazed at the fact that it says profit no matter which way you look at it. It seems like magic.
I wonder how long that took to figure out how to, and I'll show you this, how to have it read profit this way, and then profit when I rotate it. Whoop. Crazy.
It's absolutely insane. And I used to go online and search different websites that would let you find words right side up and right side down. Just because I think it's the coolest look, and I think it translates perfectly for Unruly Industries.
Yeah.
I think that whole design of it, even the horns on the ram's head for the guerrilla warfare.
Guerrilla Squadron, yeah.
Guerrilla Squadron, guerrilla warfare squadron mix up. Even the horns have that sort of sneaker design incorporated. I'm just blown away by it, by the creativity.
It's like this. It's like part of the soles. Yeah.
Exactly.
Those things on the side. Yeah. No, it's definitely the mashup that a lot of people didn't know that they wanted, but now, here it is.
Here it is.
You weren't expecting this, I'm sure. I wasn't.
No, when I saw it this morning on the stream, I was just completely, I was bamboozled by the by the mashup, because it's like the best song ever.
It is purely the best mashup in RAM form.
I'm surprised even at the details of the sort of wear and tear of the character, showing that scar on the face there, and sort of how that parallels with the wear and tear that shoes would have. It's just brilliant to me.
They're cool, unique pieces, and those are, from Unruly Industries. All the stuff that we're going to be looking at, you can definitely find if you go to side.show/con, and you can search all of these things. And again, if you are looking to get another look at any of this, or if you have any questions, hit us up in the chat. Be sure to hit us up. We will answer any and all of your questions about all of these pieces that we're looking at today. All right, Andrew, should we move on to the big Marvel diorama over here?
Oh my goodness!
Are you? You've been
we go
thinking
over,
about this for a little bit.
I want to start just in the corner.
Yeah, let's start in the corner.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Cameraman Sam. This is a bit of a squeeze, but I just want to hang out with the cable premium format figure for a while. I'm gonna get out of your way there so you can get in close. I am amazed and astounded with the detail that they've included, not just for the sculpture, because you can look at all the veins in his arms, the rippling muscles, the incredible high-tech detail in his cybernetic limbs, in his gun design. Everything from top to bottom is just so perfectly in line with the character.
Yeah.
Including there at the bottom, there is a nice little exclusive that we include with Deadpool coming out of a portal there. Oh
yeah.
A little.
Here you go.
Isn't that adorable?
Here's a little. Yeah. What is that? Just a little stuffed animal, or a little. What is that he's got in his hand there? Stuffed Deadpool doll. Deadpool.
It's a stuffed little Deadpool doll, and it's perfect because all of the Marvel pieces tell a story together. Even if they don't have the exact same bases, the stories are there intertwined, and you can tell, We might come back to the Cable, but we got to look over now at the Deadpool.
I will say though, what I love about this is it shows the foil nature of the two of them, and Cable's such a serious guy.
Right.
And to just have this lighthearted touch with Deadpool sneaking through, I love that. And then also just, you know, I think we maybe caught the base, but he's standing on that Professor Xavier's school seal, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
So that's always cool.
Yeah, I was too excited by the face. I love that face sculpt so much. There's so much emotion in it that just captures me. I'm stuck in that gaze. And I think that's true for a lot of these Marvel premium format figures and maquettes. When we look at the Deadpool, we get that same dichotomy of serious and playful that this character is really well known for. What I wanted to point out is on that right side there, you might be seeing it. That right there, I believe, is another little stuffed Cable. You see that?
Oh yeah, it's the mirror.
It's the mirror
of
exactly.
the other piece. Yeah.
He's got his stuffed Cable with him, and he's giving the stuffed Deadpool to Cable, and I think that's great.
But so Andrew, I'm going to jump in here real quick to interrupt. I'm just going to let everybody know out there watching live, we're hearing you. You want to check out some art prints, and actually, me and Andrew, after this next segment, we'll play some playlists, some content for you, and then we'll be wrapping up this live program in the art gallery. So you will be seeing all of our art prints a little bit later on in the show. So I just wanted to jump in, let everybody know.
Good. I'm very excited to look at the art prints.
I know. This is why you're here. We brought you on for the excitement, Andrew, and we're excited to have you.
I've got oodles and strudels. I've got ramen noodles of excitement for this. We got to keep going and meeting more of these X-Men here. I don't think we can ignore Wolverine anymore. I think that intense stare refuses to be ignored. Even the adamantium I don't know, shaving off of it. It's right there.
Oh yeah, you
can see the adamantium skull.
Got a little trim on the skin there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stare, but it's also, is he smiling, grimacing? Is he in pain? Is he angry?
Oh,
that face.
To look at the whole piece, I think he's in pure heaven.
Yeah.
I think this is joy for him right now. He's just knocked over.
Did he lose in pool? What do you think happened here? He's got the pool stick and the pool ball down there.
I don't know if he lost in pool. I think he's simply playing a home rules in pool. I think he's got a new idea of where the game should go. And the whole story in this and every X-Men piece is what makes them maybe my favorite overall. But that look is just pure joy. Let's keep going. Let's hang out with Colossus. Oh my goodness. I've seen metal skin before, but not like this. The musculature in it, I mean, you see it also on Cable, and we saw that earlier, but this right now, I'm just amazed with how lifelike the metal skin still is. I think they stayed very true to the comic book vision, so much so they've included these details even in the base, where he's in the danger room, defeating and training, and oh my goodness. There really is a weight to this piece. And I don't know that you can tell unless...
It looks like it. I mean, he looks heavy, that's for sure.
Yeah, unless you're in person, I don't know if you can really feel the weight, but it's there.
That's a heavy piece. I remember I did the unboxing on that, and that was, I had to brace myself for taking that out of the box.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's meet the power couple. Oh,
we got a couple.
We actually have a couple power couples.
Couple couples.
Yeah, I don't know where to begin. Let's meet Jean Grey and Cyclops, because these two guys here are also in the middle of an incredible fight, and it looks like they're in the same place based on their base, where you've sort of got that snowy tundra with the rocky underneath it.
We saw that yesterday with Wolverine.
Yeah.
And Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Same scene.
There's a large story going on in all of these pieces, and it's amazing to see them connected. In my head, I don't know if they're still in the danger room or not. The danger room can do a lot of things. You know, they could be outside, whatever. I like the idea that sort of lava cracking through the bottom of Cyclops' base there, that was just him. That was just him like shooting in another direction earlier.
Yeah, that's not lava. That's just his heat.
That's just the heat emanating from his power. The pain in his face.
That's anguish for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
big time.
it's incredible. And I think that's always how I've seen the character. I've seen the character in this deep place of pain, finally being able to embrace who he is and attack the notion of those who won't accept the X-Men, you know? There's so much emotion in their faces, whereas Jean Grey is just like controlled and calm. And that's almost more terrifying because of the Phoenix Force inside of her, you know?
Yeah, that's the most powerful. Is the quiet.
Exactly. Yeah, you get it. So I'm just enamored with that calm, cool expression of her powers that are literally flowing out of her. It's fantastic. I don't think I can go a minute longer though without Gambit and Rogue. We have to look at them. I am in love with their love. I am in love with the way that they're moving through the danger room.
We love love. We love their love. And I've always been a big Gambit fan. I something about his southern drawl.
Yeah.
And I think I grew up playing a lot of cards, so it's just stuck in there. Something about him. Definitely tried to have that haircut for a long time.
I think you could pull it off better than most, honestly.
Yeah, it's a little long for him. I think at this point, yeah, I need to cut the face out of a balaclava, and maybe I could pull that off.
You've got a lot of options for Halloween. Is really what we're getting from the con. That's what we're getting.
I can't wait for my girlfriend and my dogs to see it.
It's going to be great. But just looking at them, there's that same powerful precision in what he does, and in that motion, the power behind the cards, that slightly translucent feel to it, and of course all of the aces. Right, because he's always pulling out his aces.
But it is cool, yeah. That it is that semi-translucent, power, I guess. That's flying out of him.
It is. He's just throwing out that kinetic, that stored up potential energy, turning it into kinetic energy. And I even see it where he's jumping off. I don't know if we can get a good angle on it. On his knee, on his right knee, you can see the pink sort of explosions coming up from the mechanisms that are in the danger room. Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that, I don't know. Looks like, yeah. I am so impressed with that because it's showing his power emanating from every single stride. Every single move is power packed. And the same is true for Rogue, because Rogue is literally ripping everything out of the ground.
I mean, also just the calmness on her face, not even calm, the kind of joy.
Yeah, the joy, the brazen confidence. I am...
She's having fun.
And wouldn't you? I mean...
If I was powerful like that, absolutely.
And she's flying up, and I was talking about this earlier, the engineering that went into making her fly like this.
Right, because she's just only connected by her arm.
Yeah. It's extremely sturdy. There was an interview a long, long time ago about it. But it's just this powerful pose held up beautifully, and it feels like mutant magic to me.
Yeah.
It really does. To be able to get this flying position, it just seems... I was going to say uncanny, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Well, it is, yeah, there's a sturdiness that comes with the premium formats and the maquettes at Sideshow that is always impressive to me. How they are able to create these very unreal poses.
There we go.
Across the board, yeah.
That's a good word for it. Can we potentially hang out with Magneto next?
Yeah, let's move on to Magneto.
Because I think Magneto's my favorite.
Why? Because you're secretly evil inside.
Yeah, well, it might be the being secretly evil inside. I have loved almost every portrayal of Magneto because it seems that writers really go far out of their way to take care with him and to put the intent of the story with him. It's just, it's beautiful to me.
He is the one who's always kind of stirring it up, that's for sure.
Yeah, and having Omega level powers doesn't slow him down, it does, and it helps, I think, tell these extremely powerful stories. I don't know why I'm always so enamored with these powerful positions and how they affect the environment around them. That's something that our premium formats and maquettes do to the nth degree. Because of course you have this incredible look coming out of his helmet, this intense stare once again. And like, you know, Wolverine has joy, Cyclops has this anguish. I think Magneto has this intense determination that you don't see the same. It's this cool determination to me.
I mean, it's impressive, frightening.
Exactly.
And understandable to a certain degree at the same time. So.
And I'm also, again, in love with the base. I can't help it. That base just destroying the Sentinel like that. Absolutely decimating it. He's not even concerned. These are mutant killing machines, and he's like, that's fine.
I think it was because of the cartoons. I was enamored with the Sentinels since a young age. And anytime that Sideshow integrates them into any of these maquettes or premium format figures, I'm into it.
It shows how powerful he is, I think. I think it shows the power and, wow, okay, all right, I'm gonna get stuck on it.
Yeah.
Let's go to Emma Frost. Emma Frost, similar to Jean Grey, has a more calm look on her face, but this is a look that could kill.
And probably will.
And probably will. What I love about this and what I love about Emma is, depending on her place in any story, she's good, she's bad, but she's always doing things to help mutant kind. And she's always an incredible teacher to other mutants. Always acting as a powerful mentor figure. What I love in this
because she's so cool.
Yes, because, okay. All right. What I love in this figure, as I was saying, was it's the cape.
I mean,
we make outstanding capes. I think you said it earlier.
Capes a lot today, and I just, it's a lot of swoop, and they definitely had some fun with the cape when they were setting this one up.
What I'm impressed with is the ability to translate someone who has primarily, at least her primary power, her primary mutation, is this telepathic power, and there's still so much movement in the figure when it's all in her head, you know. They didn't show her, you know, just kind of standing there. They showed her in this incredibly beautiful, elegant, telepathic power position. I don't know how else to say it. And the cape adds so much to that. And I just, oh my goodness.
Ethereal. It's,
that's a very good way to put it. Now, switching from that calm and in control, let's move to the man who cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
The unstoppable force, Juggernaut himself. That is a massive piece.
My favorite piece, I pointed it out on Tuesday here with Jeff May. That is my favorite piece, Andrew.
What's amazing is that it's a real sized fist. Like you don't know it maybe just looking at it.
That's a fist that could punch you in the face.
I have seen people holding that actual figure, that actual maquette. That's a real sized piece.
Put your fist next to it, Andrew.
Look at that. That's a real, you know, I might not have the biggest hands in the world, but Juggernaut does. I mean, that's a real actual fist, and there's real actual power moving in this. It looks like he won't, but he looks like he's going to topple over with the power just pushing through him, pushing through this motion as he's decimating the walls of the Danger Room. That's another really cool thing. Again, you guys always hear me looking at the bases here. It adds so much to the story because Sideshow doesn't, you know, skip out on any detail. That base is once again in the Danger Room, just like Rogue and Gambit, just like Colossus. You don't have to look at them. I just want to look at Juggernaut some more. That again, and that expression in his face, we do such a good job with that. Oh my goodness. That's Kane Marco when they're saying, all right, brother, I'm after you. I'm going too far into the
But yeah, it's very evocative. It's a massive piece. It's hard to take your eyes off it, and that's what has always drawn me to that. But I must draw our attention elsewhere. Andrew, what would you like to look at next? I know that we're going to look at the Black Canary a little bit later, but why not? We're right here. Spend some time with Mr. J and Our Lady Harley.
I can't tell you how jealous I was when you guys were looking earlier today. I just wanted to see every single detail.
So yeah, what strikes you first off? Because we did talk about it a bit this morning, but it's a pretty impressive and honestly realistic piece.
It really is. That's the scary part. What I love, I'd say the top two things that stand out to me are the motion. This is confusing, maybe, hopefully not, but there's a motion in the face, a sort of circle from the side here. You might see it a little better. But the curvature of the eyebrow coming down alongside there and then curling up with those rotten teeth. There's this sort of circle that your eyes trace his face. And you get that attention to where your eyes follow, wherever you go. At any angle, you're following these different curves right back into it. And so you're captured in those eyes. And so that eyebrow and the nasty teeth, that's got to be it for me. That's where my eyes like first draw to.
I mean, that eyebrow, that's a killer on its own.
And when you come back to look at it front facing, you've got, again, the eyebrow down to the chin, back up to the eyebrow. That's a little heart there. It's a creepy little heart.
It is a creepy heart, and I'll tell you, being right in the line of sight of that Joker is not something that I want to continue.
It's uneasy, but speaking of the heart, who else would love him more than Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Classic Harley. Happy to help out, Mr. J. And just another incredibly realistic version of her here.
What I love about it is the caricature versus this realistic look at it. The Joker looking the way that he does really shows how I would see him in real life. Mm-hmm. I see him as twisted. You guys were joking this morning. You guys will have to go back if you're watching right now. You have to see this show this morning. They're talking about what product he would use in his hair.
I was wondering.
That product is, I mean, he's a world-class chemist making the Joker toxin. He totally makes his own hair product. It's totally what made him look like that. I'm sure that Harley Quinn is trying to bite back the smell.
It's a stinky pomade, you're saying, something of that ilk, something that turns his hair green and just keeps it right in place.
Absolutely.
At the same time.
Yeah, and so her look is so expressive and there's so much subtlety in the expression because there's a hesitance in her look.
Right.
I think Harley Quinn's always, in the back of her mind or in some deep pit hidden in her heart, there's been some hesitance. Like, okay, maybe he's a little crazier than expected the first time around.
I mean, she is still a professional at heart. She knows crazy when she sees it, and so it is. But she's on board. She's dressed to the nines. The shine on the lipstick is really so real life. I think that's one of those things that makes it actually come to life.
Yeah, and the way that it plays with the light, the way that this whole piece plays with light is incredible. And on the mask, too, that glimmer, gleam, I'm amazed at that. Those look like the little ear. I don't know what to call them. Those aren't her ears.
Well, yeah, the ears of her
jester hat.
Jester hat. I mean, it is a jester hat.
They look puffy, like they really look that way.
Well, they look like they've been stuffed. Yeah, I mean,
it blows my mind.
The most realistic depictions of either character I've ever seen with my two eyes, hands down.
And again, going from seeing it on the stream this morning to in person right now, it's a completely different experience, and it's one worth having.
Absolutely. And again, if anybody has any questions out there watching the show, any comments, any questions, let us know, and we will be sure to answer them or give you a closer look at something if you'd like. But let's keep on moving through the DC here. Actually, we had a request to take another look at Black Canary here.
Ooh, I don't mind.
Which I think is a first look for everybody at this Sideshow Premium Format figure.
This Black Canary caught my eye the moment that I saw it. I am so impressed with how lifelike, again, the expression, the face, the flowing hair is beautiful. I love the hair sculpt.
Yeah.
And I I tried to learn how to do art one time. I'm not an artist.
You learned how to do art?
Yeah, I tried to learn art one time. And you see those kneecaps? That's proof that we're working with artists like that are the best of the best.
That's true.
Knees are the craziest like bones in the body. They just don't make sense to me.
To get those to look right, I mean the musculature, everything.
Exactly.
One resting, one holding her up more. Yeah, no, it's something that you don't automatically think about, but truly, yeah, they're pros here. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, well, I'm learning clearly right in front of my eyes. That you mentioned the musculature, and that's also what I'm impressed with. It's just also realistic with the way that it's weighted, with the way that it looks, with the way that it feels. I'm loving the costume. Just loving the costume. It feels like Black Canary, you know?
Well, there she is. And then do you have some thoughts on the Mr. Bats and Miss Bats behind?
Am I allowed to have thoughts about them?
Yes, please.
I could think about these guys forever. That cape, that blue color, it brings it home for me.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the classic, I guess, look and you know, I get that's the, I mean, they pull that from the show. Is that where that originally came, or was that the coloring from the comics before the show?
You know, I think they did it a little bit in both, but
Okay.
I think they made it more iconic in the show.
Right.
For me, at the very least, that's where I saw it a bit more. And those colors feel like a Batman who isn't afraid to trust different proteges, take on different crime-fighting partners like Barbara Gordon, and like this is a lighter Batman to me, literally in his costume, and also in just, you know, the story surrounding him. But then at the same time, at that base there, he's dealing with the dark history of Arkham, the dark history of Gotham.
Yep. Yeah, and again, for everybody checking this out, this is a first look at this piece as well. This is we're looking at it for the first time, 3D, bringing it to you. This is a variant, right, of one of our other pieces over there at that diorama. But love it. I love the cape. We were admiring that earlier, and just, you know, it does have that throwback feel while still being very, very placed as modern as can be, as you can look at his utility belt there.
I gotta say, Batgirl is
blowing it up.
Something else right there.
Landing through the window.
I know. Well, like, and you can even notice in the vase there's like little
shards of glass there,
no,
or the golden.
Yeah, I don't know what to call them. Golden smoke bombs. Smoke bombs, got it. They're smoke bombs, and they're wonderful. And it makes me wonder, you know, the story going on here and where I'd place it in my collection, which other Gotham Rogues Gallery people I'd put them with, you know, which other baddies would be inside, and who she's about to defeat and turn into the police. I know we talked so much about capes, but goodness, that cape just does it right.
Yeah, great. I mean, just the seams are done very well. Yeah, let's get a 360 on that. And actually, we'll have an interview tomorrow with Ian Mcdonald, one of the designers of this very Batgirl piece. So Ian Mcdonald, we'll be talking to him.
It's great, and you still get that detail of the fabrics, even when they're sculpted. Not just on the cape, but in the gloves, in the mask, in the everything. And you get that consistent across all of these figures, all of the PFs. And I am blown away by it, blown away by the textures, and even of the wood grain. Oh, man.
That's true. That is, I mean, it's one of these things you're like, oh, that's got to be real wood. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not wood.
I feel like I'm going to get a splinter on it. But you won't.
Well, you won't. And also, just so you know, that these broken pieces of glass, these are not sharp pieces of glass. So it's not even glass, right? Exactly. So that should not be a fear that they are too sharp or something like that. It is just made to look like glass, and that's all. So
I love how they've posed it too. Honestly, the power of that kick it's real.
I mean, she's using gravity, muscle on her side, and the utility belt's flying up in the air. And yeah, I mean, definitely the cape, you know, they have the wiring in there so you can control the swoop a little bit, but it's doing a lot of the work there to frighten anyone who would cross her.
What I love is that she's not even looking. She doesn't even need to look.
Well, she knows she's looking at what's next. She's not looking down. Exactly.
Yeah. She's not worried about like falling through there. She's going to get through, you know, she's like the Batman. She could do this with her eyes closed. And so she's just looking for other details, scoping out, seeing what other plans she could make. She's brilliant. I mean, as Oracle, as Batgirl, Barbara Gordon's got the plan. And it shows. It shows literally in this wonderful pose. And I like that it's lined up with Batman's too. At least the way that we have it posed right now. The fact that they're both eyeing that same direction, it makes me curious what's coming next. And in my collection, I'd have something there. I'd have something very specific.
Who would you have there?
I can't choose anyone. Maybe the Swamp Thing.
They would be fighting Swamp Thing.
No, they wouldn't be fighting Swamp Thing. He'd just be there. Like I just like him there.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's too bad we don't have a Swamp Thing here, but we do have one request from those in the chat, and that's Thanos. We want to look at this Thanos to wrap up this next section. So, Andrew, come on over and talk to us a little bit about what you think of this Thanos that's part of this collection over here.
Once again, I am amazed with the weight of this piece. It's a big piece. There's a power in that step on the Avengers Tower. You know, happy Sideshow New York Con. There is just this massive weight and a presence. He just commands such a presence, but the rippling muscles.
And he's so triumphant. I mean, I think that's the thing. Thanos is a fun villain to get behind and be a fan of. Not only is his look interesting, the Infinity Gauntlet is one of those things that evokes unity of ideas and forces. And so I just, you know, to see him that happy is frightening, but also pretty cool because you know something epically weird and scary is going to happen next in a very fun, you know, comic book way.
Yeah, when Thanos is happy, you have to be worried about what's next.
Exactly.
But you have to be ready for it, and like, you know, all the Avengers are, of course.
Right.
They're as ready as they can ever be, except for the Avengers Tower. Again, not a great
sorry,
day for,
New York.
Yeah,
yes.
Sorry. Very sorry about that. But Thanos is happy, so you should be too. It's a gorgeous piece, and I do love the classic comic colors.
Oh yeah.
I do like that. I really like the decision to bring it back to that. It feels, I don't know how to say this better, but it kind of feels like my comic book home.
Right. Yeah. It's nostalgic. It's evocative of stuff that you remember and feels like home. Exactly. Yeah. And we have there's so many different versions of it, but it is nice to honor that classic look for sure.
Yeah. I also love the modern version too, because it's like the movies. But that classic, nostalgic. That's the word.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough of the Thanos nostalgia. We're going to wrap this section up of the booth, but we are going to be back with so much more. Me and Andrew are going to be showing you some of the art prints in the art print gallery. And so we got some fantastic stuff in there.
Oh, I cannot express my excitement.
Right.
I can't even remember the word nostalgic.
He's doing a little dance.
I'm doing the dance.
But before we get to the art gallery, we are going to toss you now to an episode of Strike a Pose from season 1. Just There's No Mask. That was already shot a year ago. So that's what we're going to check out right now, and you'll be back with us in a moment.
She has the strength of Hercules, the wisdom of Athena, the speed of Mercury, and the beauty of Aphrodite. She is...
Pepperoni?
Wait, that's not the line. It's supposed to be...
Do you want pepperoni on your pizza?
Huh? Yeah, uh-huh.
those my Wonder Woman cos babies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome to Strike a Pose, the web series from Sideshow in which 3 contestants battle it out in a 6-scale figure posing competition in which they fight to win the figure that they're posing. Each contestant will be given 15 minutes to hit the best pose that they can. When the time's up, they'll all be judged on a scale of 1 to 10 in 3 categories: creativity, composition, and character. Okay, it's time to meet our contestants. First up is Jeremy. Next to Jeremy is Rob. And last but not least, we have Kat. All right, contestants, it's time for me to reveal to you which figure you stand to win today. Thanos, 6-scale figure from Avengers Infinity War. That's very exciting. All right, now that you know what the figure is, you guys ready to start posing this thing? All right, let's get going. All right, now each one of our contestants has a copy of the same figure in front of them. All of them are in the same non-pose on equal footing. It's time to begin in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, wait, are we actually going? Or...
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
No.
See how dynamic mine is. They're gonna blow your mind.
Rob, check on him.
What I'm doing. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is all over the place right now.
I'm going full on beefcake with mine.
Well, it's Thanos. He needs to be a beefcake.
Oh, I keep taking this one.
Oh, that didn't sound good.
Yeah, you do lose points for breaking the figure. If I do, then you do as well.
We can all fix it. We're all capable.
Do I have to keep his clothes on him?
No.
It's your show, man. It's your show. That's 11 minutes left.
It's really only been 4 minutes. Jeez, I feel like I've been like rushing. I've got nowhere I could think about this, huh? It's a lot of dead space in my face, though.
Oh! Oops, they're in an arm.
Oh, I said I was gonna trick everybody. And I'm gonna have to punch everybody in the arm.
Can take a peek at what you're doing real quick?
Put it as close to this wall as possible so you can't see.
I'm just gonna say you will get mad points for creativity on that one. No one's ever quite done that.
I'm down. I could help you if you need help. It's cool.
That might be the best shade we've ever heard on this show. Yeah.
Tell me with your eyes, Kat, how bad he's doing. That's what I figured.
You got this. Rob, you got this, Rob.
We're rooting for you.
Did you say we're grieving for you?
Are you done? Yeah, are you done? Are you just like just standing there hanging out now?
Okay, everybody, stop. Hands off your figures. This is that point in the competition in which we throw you guys a curveball.
I don't know, it's just weird. Like, we do the best we can with what we have, you know? I can't control what people say about us on the internet, you know? But it's just, we're just a couple of Boston dudes doing our thing, working hard, by the way. I saw the CrossFit scenes. Excellent, you know? But it's just, you know, what do you do? Direction and everything, and, well, you get it. You know, Argo. Amazing, by the way. And you were the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Boy, it got really quiet in here. This is just dead airspace, guys.
Is everybody done?
I was deep in thought.
I don't know, I messed with his hand and now I'm all upset.
Okay, everybody, stop. Hands off your figures.
Oh,
This is that point in the competition in which we throw you guys a curveball.
Oh,
God, I hope it's not.
So, with that in mind, you notice that each of Thanos' arms comes with 2 hands that you can use. We're going to need you to swap both those hands. So if you're using the open hand on his right, you need to switch to the fist, and vice versa.
But there's two open hands. There's the like
you can actually,
curled
yes,
and
actually you can swap out the hands on both gauntlets on the arms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do come off. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, really this up for me. Thanks.
Yeah, actually, just completely ruined it. There goes my creativity
It's
points.
not the purple hand, it's the other hand we gotta swap
Yeah, you
out?
have to swap out one of the purple hands for another purple hand, and you have to swap
Oh,
out
both?
both the the glove hands.
How much time we got now?
Oops, it broke.
I think this is the most rage that this is met with, right? It's awesome, finally. We've got 6.5 minutes left. Minimal difference.
Oh, I gotta get rid of this one too, huh? All right.
How you doing over there, Jeremy?
I think I nailed it again.
I think it's promising.
If I lose, it's rigged. If I... Just putting that out there.
Nothing like setting it up. What about you, Rob? You feeling comfortable?
As comfortable as I can be on camera.
How about it, Kat? What do you think? What you got going on over there?
I feel like a little kid. Ooh, look at that, yoga.
Okay, everybody, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Does the gauntlet come off this arm?
They come all the way off?
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a tug.
Do it, tug it. Rad. So you got a backup gauntlet over there?
Okay, tell him what I'm doing. This guy.
Why do I feel like you put the other gauntlet on his other hand? Has he got a reverse hand?
That's exactly what I did, Rob, and you should do that as well.
I'm really looking forward to hearing that.
I bullshitted something, and now I'm trying to figure out what the hell I did.
Was that your way through college?
Absolutely.
All the way through college.
Magna cum laude.
Yes.
Don't fact check that.
No, you're trying to throw me under the bus.
Any of you guys have any fun tack to hold things in place? No, fun tack.
Oh, that's not allowed.
Whatever, it's secretive, you don't know.
1 minute.
Rob, I can see how high your gauntlet is. I think I should move mine higher.
What?
The taller the figure, the better it is.
Not necessarily, but
30 seconds.
I'm freaking out here.
calm down, Jack. You're gonna win.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Hands off. All right, Jeremy. Nice stuff, man. Obviously, you had a story in mind. You want to tell me about it a little bit?
Yeah, so my boy Thanos just got all the stones in his Infinity Gauntlet, is now flexing his power, and he's using a reality stone to mess with them and make a second head and really mess with them, you know, like Thanos does. But then he made a decoy gauntlet, and he's like, go ahead, grab it. I dare you to grab it. If he really wants him to grab that other gauntlet, you're gonna lay a beating on him.
This definitely has a hieroglyphic story vibe going for it. Definitely, yeah. Did that twist? Did that throw you a little bit at all?
Oh yeah, that really did. I messed it up because I had him like flexing, you know, and he was like, boom, check out these guns, and then check out this big old gauntlet. And he was looking down at him, and he had his hand like this. He was like, what are you gonna do about it? But then changed everything.
Right,
Really.
right, okay. Hey, Rob.
Hey.
Dude, I really like what you've done here. This looks freaking awesome. I'm not even making that up. I really, the composition on this thing is just pretty much textbook. I love what you've done here. I think you've broken every line in every point of articulation imaginable, and yeah, job well done. Did you have a story in mind here? What were you thinking as you posed Thanos?
Well, I had a different pose in mind, but that little curveball that you guys throw in here sent me off. So I had to readjust and think of something, and I just thought he looked mean and strong and make him look like he's walking out from under the Titantron in a WWE wrestling match or something. I don't know.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, like The Rock as Thanos. There we go.
Yeah,
Cool.
just come to destroy everybody.
Awesome. Well, this is great, man. Thank you so much. Hey, Kat.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Just as an earlier high marks for creativity here, I'm really looking forward to hearing what was going through your head when you constructed this.
I'm not sure it was much of anything. I was kind of thinking Hamlet with the skull in the hand, and I was like, I don't know. And I happened to notice that the hole in the hand was kind of the same size as the one in the head, so I gave it a try, and I was like, oh, Yeah, just sort of like his aggression, which kind of goes with the face.
All right, I can see you translated your own emotions into the figure
that's
itself.
pretty
All
much
right,
how-
job well done. Yeah, I dig it. Okay, well, thanks very much, Kat.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Creativity. Composition. Character. All right, the figures have been judged, the totals have been tallied, but the winner is... Cool, so we got a good start here. So I just like, this is like a basic starter pose for this. Now, I think we could probably go with just a bit more of a torso twist. Now, arch that back, just arch it, okay? Now, just turn your head ever so slightly this way. Now, cock it back that way.
This is good for my back?
Dude, I do this all the time, trust me. Trust the poser, okay? Yeah, just count on it. Okay, let's get that arm back and then bring this one up really high. That's it. You feeling that? You feel that? It's good, right? I think we got something here. Just hold that for a little while, I'll be back. All right, the figures have been judged, the totals have been tallied, and for the first time in Strike a Pose history, we have a tie for second place, but the winner with 19 points is Rob. Way to go, Rob. Congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good stuff. All right, thanks for watching this episode of Strike a Pose. Be sure to vote for who you thought won the competition in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Miss Mindy, and welcome to Sideshow Con.
Well, hey there, folks. Welcome back to Sideshow New York Con Live. I'm Brad Gage.
I'm Andrew Seco.
And we're here in the Fine Art Print Gallery. This is a part that you maybe not have seen yet, but we have a bunch of fantastic art prints that we're going to be showing off today for you. And we're starting off with a pretty ominous one right here. Big fan of this, Frank Frazetta.
Yeah, well, artist is Frank Frazetta. It is the Death Dealer 3 fine art print. And I'm in love. That's the...
You're in love with that.
So yeah, next. No, I'm kidding. The Death Dealer 3 is an absolutely gorgeous fine art print with an incredible use of shadowing and colors that make the silhouette of an absolutely terrifying character. One that notoriously inspired some of pop culture's favorite characters of all time.
Like who?
I want you to guess. I'm putting you on the spot. If you had to guess who this might have inspired.
Spawn.
I mean, that's a good guess. That's a good, solid. The next two pieces that we're looking at have both inspired one of our favorite pop culture creators, and I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it at the very end. But for now, I just want to look at it in its own beauty. The eruption of light and fury and fire behind the Death Dealer is what stands out and pops, that outlines the silhouette in this very stoic and terrifying pose. There's something mystical and magical about having both glowing eyes in the helmet and sort of at that waist there.
Yeah, that's right. It's
belt.
like it's not. I don't know if it's not a belt buckle, but it's kind of just the abdomen area is covered with what looks kind of like a face.
Exactly.
A demon face of sorts.
And so the Death Dealer 3 fine art print raises all of these interesting questions about the world that he's in. Not the least, look at the skulls and bones at his feet.
Well, that's how you know he's dealing death.
That's how you know he specifically is dealing death. You know, the big axe with the suggestion of blood dripping down it certainly helps. It certainly helps, but there's so much story here because there are bones in the background too. There's all of these almost impressionistic suggestions of what's happening here. But the print, and Frank Frazetta in the print, forces you to question exactly what's happening and exactly your position in the story. With those eyes, those terrifying eyes looking out at you, I mean, is there a chance that you're next?
I mean, it's a good reminder for today, or the Death Dealer 3 might come at you.
So this is the third Death Dealer. There's an interview that's coming up.
Yes, on Saturday. There's an interview with Frank Frazetta that we have coming
Frank Frazetta Jr.
Yes.
And Lori Frazetta, who I was lucky enough to be able to talk to about these pieces. They have the incredible story of the progression of this painting. And I think it would be a disservice for me to try and summarize or try and explain what the story really is. But I can tell you this, the Death Dealer 3 is my favorite of the three pieces.
Good place to start.
It is a good place to start. And so let's continue to another Frank Frazetta piece, the Egyptian Queen. So now, looking at this Egyptian Queen, just take a moment to bask in the glory of this. Once again, Frank Frazetta uses lighting in such a brilliant way as to just, your eyes know exactly where to go in this. That's always the most impressive thing about these fine art prints to me, is how these artists direct your eye. I'm amazed with the details in the pillar. I know that there's a lot going on right now, but the details in the pillar that the Egyptian Queen is leaning on.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? That's a marble, kind of, you would guess, right?
Right. You'd think. I'd like to
looks
think.
like a marble.
It does look like a marble.
And it reminds me of the spotting of the leopard, I guess, below.
Yes.
It's kind of a similar, spotting.
You took the words right from my brain holes. The patterns are consistent, and these intricate patterns of the leopard do show up, but you can trace the patterns all the way up the stairs, up to the pillar, and these intricate patterns that they look like they're only a single wisp of a brush, making these light. These places that catch light, these dark places of shadows, the jagged texture of the stone. But okay, all right, enough about the setting. The Egyptian Queen herself is stunning artistic work. I am so grateful to be able to be up close looking at it.
And impressive too, I'll just say about the long kind of cloak that's draping off of her.
Yeah.
The colors that are included there, just thinking about historically, something like a blue ink or a blue dye, sorry.
Right.
Kind of a rare thing.
Exactly.
And so, that's why she's the queen. She's able to have these colorings that are just not naturally found out there very often.
There's just an extreme decadence flowing from her in that peacock-like pattern flowing off.
It's definitely evocative of a peacock for sure, yeah.
It is, and it's brilliant how she's sort of sandwiched between the peacock blue, satin fabric.
Maybe silk,
flowing off, flowing off of her. And there's sort of that blue in the pillar too. She's squished right in between that. And so the colors lead you right straight in up. The angle of the fabric and the angle of the pillar, you're just right caught in her eyes again.
And what's interesting to me is that this scene is weirdly evocative, tying into our next piece, of a Jabba's palace. And that takes us to the Rancor by R.J. Palmer. And one of my favorite movies, honestly, my favorite Star Wars.
Your favorite Star Wars.
And one of my favorite characters, just signaling the triumphant return of Luke Skywalker when he can defeat this mighty beast. who you end up kind of feeling a little bad for, but not so much because he was about to eat our hero.
Yeah, I do remember that happening, yeah.
Yeah.
They
make you feel for him a little bit. But maybe it's because of the reaction of the Gamorrean guards and all that stuff. But I think this is a fantastic rendering, depiction. I mean, you are right in the Rancor's sights. It's almost a perspective of you on the ground looking up at the Rancor.
That's something PJ Palmer does a great job of in the Rancor fine art print, of putting you in that scene, and it feels like those claws are coming my way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The drool is also coming your way.
The drool, yeah, it's the drool, it's the claws, it's those terrifying teeth. And I do think the Rancor, they're some of my favorite beasts in Star Wars.
It's kind of like, what's the most monstery monster you can put into space?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, there's space worms, there's the Rancor.
There's worms, there's wampas.
Yeah.
But there's the
Rancor.
Rancor. It's a little slimy.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah. Well, moving on, we're going to take a look at a couple X-Men pieces here. Both kind of some similar characters here.
So the first
round in the background.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
The first we have the X-Men tribute fine art lithograph by Alex Ross in the iconic Alex Ross style. It's extremely realistic in ways that I didn't think were possible for X-Men. It's somehow both grounded in the classic comic book style and realism. I don't know how they do that, but even look at Banshee.
Well, it's funny. It's almost the running reminds me of the opening credits of the cartoon where the two sides are running into each other.
Yeah.
And so it definitely has that vibe to it, and that classic Cyclops look is always fun.
Oh, there's nothing like that classic Cyclops look. I love the anger, the sheer anger of the Beast. All of them have this incredible look to them. I don't think I've ever seen such a Angel like that.
Right.
You know, there's an elegance to Angel up there, and there's an elegance to all of them. I gotta say, Nightcrawler at the bottom right, that's the Nightcrawler that I've always seen in my dreams. He's terrifying.
Oh, and
those
eyes
love
light
that.
up in the night. Yeah, for sure. Compared to what we're seeing in the next piece by a giant-size X-Men.
Which still has a... giant-size X-Men.
Yeah.
By, hold on. Eddie Granoff.
Eddie Granoff.
Yeah. The Nightcrawler is terrifying in a completely different way. This was of course on a recent comic book cover that I got, and it's very good.
What was that?
It's very good. Giant size X-Men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really good. I love the emotion in this piece. The sort of, I don't know what to call it. There's like an old horror movie with people, and they're breaking out of the screen. Oh, it's just a classic vibe to me, and I can almost hear the shriek of the characters.
It feels like it does have the vibe of like a movie poster. It's telling a little bit more of a story in their looks.
It is, and if no, that's fine. I just love that metal skin again. That's all. We were saying you were saying.
Just gonna move on because probably my favorite character in all of Marvel, Spider-Man and the Sinister Six here.
Ooh.
And I don't think rarely I think we get of the six plus Spidey in one shot like this, and I think that's really fun. There's so much action, and each of them doing your favorite thing that they tend to do.
Do you have a favorite in the Sinister Six?
I would say Doc Ock, just because of his the tentacles. I think is something that they're each able to have a mind of their own, and that's always interesting to me.
And the relationship with Spider-Man is particularly interesting too. In almost any depiction, there is some sort of deeper relationship with him. I love that Craven pose. Like I just love, all of these villains have such precise movements. You know, you got Doc Ock like clinging to the wall, you got Vulture coming down. Craven's like just going at it.
Yeah.
He's just going at it. And there's just, I love the sort of no restraint.
It's kind of a rampage look.
Yeah, he's coming in with.
Where's he coming from?
Yeah,
That's
like,
the
how did he
question.
get
How
there?
did he get right there?
He's just leaping.
Jumped off a building.
I literally think he jumped off a building and he's just going all out.
Doesn't care if he lands.
No, he's there to. He has no restraint. He's there to restrain the Spider-Man.
We're gonna skip the next one and stay with Spider-Man here and take a peek. We have. Is that symbiote Spider-Man or is this?
So this is the Amazing Spider-Man number
638.
There it is. One Moment in Time.
By Paulo Rivera.
Thank you. Yeah. It is. I can't remember exactly, and I'm blanking.
Because I know that there might be a difference
that
between
there's a black suit Spider-Man.
That's what I'm
pretty
saying.
sure this is the black suit Spider-Man.
Okay. It does look a little bit like that.
Last time I checked, when Spider-Man's with the symbiote, he doesn't really get along with Mary Jane as well. So that's my best guess. I'm loving this still moment in time. That's what they really captured.
It's a sweet moment. It's something that it's love, it's adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I even love the texture of the clouds behind them and how it makes them pop out in front. Every part of this is so expertly done. But there's just so much joy in Mary Jane's face. It's just, I feel it.
It seems like they've been reunited or something, or he said, hey, we're gonna finally take a break and go on a vacation or something. It just sounds like something he did or said just right before really lit her up a little bit. And
he's saying, let's grab some Sideshow New York Con pizza.
Yeah, okay,
and, and let's go.
We forgot to mention that we're making our own pizza here.
Yeah.
And apparently that is actually Black Suit Spider-Man. So
Okay,
yes, that's
perfect.
Not, that's
Thank
not the
you.
symbiote.
I was almost positive, but I wasn't too confident.
And if you guys have any questions, let us know in the chat. We still have a few more minutes here in the art gallery. So let us know if something comes up.
With that in mind, I say we turn to across the store here, across the gallery, and let's hang out with Wonder Woman number 755, fine art print by Ian Mcdonald.
Ian Mcdonald, who we are going to be talking to tomorrow. We have an interview with him tomorrow. So this is, there she is. She's on Themyscira. Yes, looks like.
So she's on Themyscira for sure, wielding the lasso of truth or the golden perfect. I love the power of this entire pose, of this entire print. She's like, clearly just defeated you, the viewer.
Yes, pure confidence, pure domination.
Just emanating the power of Wonder Woman, and it's incredible.
She wins. That would be my title for this. She wins.
She wins. Great name for a fine art print. I love the soft blue and pink of the clouds.
Absolutely.
Again, how it makes her pop. The lighting in it is incredible. The realistic skin tones just add so much to it, but it's the eyes. It's absolutely the eyes that bring me back again and again. That stare. Let's look at the Killing Joke fine art print by Ben Oliver.
Yeah, and someone just asked what our favorite art prints in the gallery are today, and you know, frankly, this is mine. I think it's of course evocative of one of my favorite comics, but at the same time, it's fun to see Joker doing kind of ordinary things to me.
Yeah.
You know, like he's taking photos, and it's not something that you would ordinarily think about for him because he would have someone else take photos or whatever. Like he doesn't do stuff on his own like this.
You don't imagine him eating dinner with his family, sitting down, you know, like colonial Polaroid.
Yeah, wearing you know, I mean, it's a cool leather jacket and gloves, but wearing like a fedora. It's just a different look. It's fun. He's kind of being a little rascal. So that's why this is my favorite piece.
Another really wonderful detail about this, I think it was mentioned earlier, but if you zoom in real close to that camera lens, I don't even know if we're going to be able to see it. Usually on a camera, there's details about, you know, the lens that you're looking at, but this time there's something a little different in a couple different languages. Something saying words that are like Joker, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they don't mean Joker, but they're like Joker.
Right. There's a translation of something.
Yeah, so you can be
akin
on
to Joker.
Google Translate or go buy some dictionaries about it.
That's fun.
Very cool.
I did not know that. That makes me like it even more. Do you have a favorite? Are we going to get to it, or have we already seen it? Did you already say that your favorite was Death Dealer?
It might be Death Dealer 3, and it might be this next piece. Can we go to it?
Yes. The Chris Meadows Superman.
Someone to Believe in Fine Art print by Christopher Meadows. It is glorious.
We're going to be doing an interview with Chris Meadows tomorrow, so you can check that out.
Yeah.
Just come right back here and watch the show, and you'll be seeing that interview. But Christopher Reeve.
Yeah. Once again, I was extremely lucky to talk with Christopher Meadows about this print and the relationship that he had with Superman and Christopher Reeve.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's an extremely wonderful and beautiful story. I think.
Can you give us a little tease of that?
I'll give you a little tease of it.
I'm interested.
I don't want to give too much away because I think it's better when he tells it.
Of course.
Just like Frank Frazetta Jr.'s story. So Christopher Meadows always loved superheroes. Growing up, loved superheroes, always wanted to draw for comics and everything. And seeing them on the big screen, seeing Christopher Reeve as the iconic Superman that he is, he just had this incredible attachment to the character. And making his way through his art career, he was still a super fan all the way through it. And I know that he went to different cons and even met him one time, where he had this really human experience with Christopher Reeve, because when a lot of celebrities go to different cons, they're told, give everybody one signature, one picture, and go.
Yeah.
You got to get through a whole bunch of people, especially someone with superstar, Superman status. Yeah. But being the kind person, being the sort of in the moment, intimate kind of person, Christopher Reeve slowed everything down when Christopher Meadows brought more for him, more than just one signature, more than just one picture. He really got to connect with him and talk with him a little bit longer. And that changed him. That absolutely changed the game. And so when throughout his art career, he decided he really wanted to paint Christopher Reeve, he knew it would be meaningful to him, and he hoped it would be meaning to Christopher Reeve as well. I don't want to tell the whole story.
Sure, yeah. Well, you can see it all in the interview. That actually, it won't be tomorrow. It'll be this weekend. So it'll
be this weekend.
So that interview will be this weekend. Again, Sideshow New York Con is going to be going on a little bit more today, but then of course tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. So sometime this weekend, stick around for that interview with Andrew.
Yeah, and get the full story of how the Someone to Believe in Fine Art print by Christopher Meadows is actually hanging in Christopher Reeve's home. Or where, maybe his office, I'm forgetting now.
Oh, okay.
But it was on display for everyone who came to see him. It was on display because even Christopher Reeve was incredibly proud of this Statue of Liberty-esque pose.
It's incredible.
One final detail that I know he's super excited for is he was trying to figure out how many stars and stripes to put in, and he put in 3 red and 3 white stripes and 4 stars to signify 34, which is how old Christopher Reeve was the last time he played Superman.
Oh.
And so there's just every detail of this was thought over.
That's fun.
With a lot of love and a lot of passion. So
I love that. Well, we got to move on to these last 2 real quick before we wrap up. Next up, we've got, keeping with the DC folks, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy by John Keaveney.
Correct. It's a beautiful print. What I love, they've got a little Batman plush and Joker plush hanging out over here.
Oh, this is evocative of the Cable and Deadpool.
That's what I was thinking of. That's what it reminded me of. But this celebratory poster, fine art print, it looks like
it's a party.
A party. Yeah, it looks like an incredible party, and they're both there to celebrate something, probably beating you up, because it kind of looks like you've fallen over and they're looking down, like.
Or they have you captured or tied up or something.
Good.
Yeah, and
that's what I love about these fine art
party
prints.
for you to watch someone you love get injured.
Yeah,
it tends to be what they do.
So then, next up, we've got the Wonder Woman number 750 World War II fine art print, clearly by J. Scott Campbell. I don't think that there's any doubt that it's J. Scott Campbell, because when you look at it, it just what's the word? Glows with his style.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the look of the explosions and everything.
Yeah, and I think that it's good to bring us to where she really became herself. Was that World War II?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or World War I. Sorry.
World War II.
It's two. Yeah.
It's World War II.
I was right the first time. So before we wrap up, we're actually going to go back and check out the Frazetta, Frazetta pieces, because we had a question in the chat about the different characters who were influenced by these two
both
pieces.
Of them.
Yes.
You caught on to it at the end there. This right here absolutely inspired Darth Vader, and that absolutely inspired Princess Leia. And you can see, you mentioned it even. You're saying it's almost like that. It is, absolutely. Because George Lucas was a huge Frazetta fan, and now I am too.
I get it.
So
you see it now.
You see it now.
It's
being able to look at that.
It's interesting, yeah. Spawn-ish, but Vader and Leia for sure.
Yeah, Vader and Leia.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. This has been another episode of Sideshow New York Con Live, coming at you at the booth and the art print gallery. We have so much more for you the rest of this con through Sunday. 2 shows a day. Tomorrow, again, that'll be starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time will be our next live show. And we've got interviews and skits and episodes of shows and giveaways and much more. So thanks so much for joining us. And what's that? We have one more question. Oh, we'll be back at the booth again tomorrow at 9 a.m. with Wendy and Amy. Make sure, yes, to check out those two of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Well, from Andrew and me, Brad Gage, thanks so much, and don't forget to let your geek side show.